So the two most powerful men in the world are upset at each other. What happened?
Well, if the internet is to believe, it might have been Scott Besson that punched Elon.
Oh, this is the black eye that Elon had that he blamed on his child
Yeah.
hitting him in the head with a toy or some description.
Whereas it looked a lot more like somebody man-sized had punched him in the face.
Where'd that rumor come from then?
Insiders.
Insiders, yeah.
There's a lot of leaking shit inside the house.
Yeah.
So Trump then does more tariffy bollocks. Elon does an upset post about he thinks all Trump's economic policies are bad and stupid and wrong, even though he got him in power to begin with. And then probably a ketamine fit of some description did a post saying that Trump is named in the Epstein files, and that's the only reason why they haven't been released.
And that was just hilarious because it's like, did anybody was there anybody out there who didn't already think that was exactly why they hadn't been released yet, despite him saying that he was going to release them?
But it was also very weird because it was sort of like Elon admitting that, I will get a paedophile into power when it suits me, but the minute I have a falling out with that paedophile, then I'm against paedophilia all of a sudden. So, yeah. It's also very weird that you would bring consistently your children into the White House with the paedophile around. That was another strange...
well, Trump's not into little boys, is it?
Well, I guess that was Elon's thought process there, wasn't it? So
He must be a pedo, but he's not gay.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Let's hit the brass eye, but I just don't fancy him. But, and then Trump is on Truth Social, so then they're not having any conversations face to face. They're not phoning each other. They're in their own individual social media platforms.
On their own little fucking siloed things, just chatting. Yama!
It reminded me so much of the bit of South Park where it's when Stan and Wendy break up and they have to use their friends as like intermediaries to deliver the notes back and forth between them. So yeah, that's that. It's what we predicted was going to happen. Maybe not quite on this scale, but we basically said this was going to be Dominic Cummings, Boris Johnson too.
I think I do believe that when we discussed this, I reckon we gave it about 6 months.
Yeah, it's like 3 to 6 months.
Just checking the calendar, that'll be very up to you. There we go.
Next week's lottery numbers are going to...
Yeah.
But it was...
I still think we were alone in that prediction. It's sort of...
We were, because I remember Lewis from the newsagent saying, they both have main character energy, and that can't coexist indefinitely, unfortunately.
I did see there was a bit of an attempt by some of the Democrats kind of rehabilitate Elon on the back of this. And everyone went, who the fuck is running this party? Like, no, we don't do that. This guy's a Nazi. Fuck this guy. But anyway, yeah.
Just let them fight.
Aye.
But
you missed all this, Laura. You were asleep, I think, during this when it happened.
I was asleep, and then you woke me up. I said, it's like, babe, wake up. Like,
They're called...
The boys are fighting. He was like, do you want me to tell you? And I was like, no, I don't. And he was like, okay, well, I'm just going to tell you that Elon and Trump are fighting, and Elon's calling Trump a pedo. And I just started like cackling.
So what's the next step in this then? What happens now?
Well, I mean, I was particularly delighted by the fact that people in Trump's camp were suggesting that they could deport Elon Musk for being in the country illegally, because he did, in fact, come in illegally to begin with. And obviously, Elon Musk is talking about setting up another party. And
is he planning to run?
I doubt it. That's a lot.
I was going to say, how would that be? And how would that work?
People like him don't actually do any work. No. They just fucking swan him out the place.
Was he not born in South Africa, though?
Yeah.
That's what I mean. He
Can't be president.
Can't be president. So what's he on
No,
about?
Trump can't be president a third time, but thinks he's going to be. Like, he's going to live that long.
So Elon would just, that's what Elon would do. He would just set up his own party, and kind of what he tried with Trump to sort of be the not president. He would just put somebody to be his sock puppet or whatever in.
I mean, I wonder what is going on with all these fucking guys. Because, I mean, when Trump...
It's a great question. I mean, what is going on with all
You know what? It's something that you said, well, I wasn't talking about. It's just like, why do you like this? I keep hearing that in my head. Why do you like this?
When Ritalin meets ketamine, that's basically what we're saying.
It's just, it's so... I was like walking through the living room yesterday and the news was on and they were talking... I was like, you know, the US's most consequential president and the richest man in the world. And I just started laughing. I was like, it's so fucking dumb that these people are the news. It's just like, it's like two big toddlers. And it's just like, right, you go and stand in the corner and you go and sit in the stairs and just...
You go and sit on Truth Social. You go sit on X.
So predictable to the point where it's actually a bit boring. I know. I mean, Trump is clearly in massive cognitive decline. And you know this because he's now going after Biden for that. So anything that he's fucking complaining about other people is always confession and projection.
And he didn't have much to climb down from.
Neil, I mean, it was utterly amazing. He had the German Chancellor in there, and it was like the anniversary of D-Day or something. And he said, "Oh, this is a terrible day for your country. No, this is the day we were liberated from fascists."
Isn't he descended from Germans? I wonder what side his family was
on
in.
the fucking KKK.
Yeah, that might be something people should be more alert to. Like, just have a look at the family trees before we start electing these people. Because Elon, you just go back, and it's like, does his grandfather not?
His grandfather, like, he left South Africa, apartheid South Africa, because it wasn't racist enough.
Didn't he go to South Africa for the racism though, like from
Yeah.
Canada? So
But then he was disappointed, I think.
it wasn't racist enough.
Yeah.
Elon's dad is currently in Moscow, sucking up to all the Putin crowd.
But yeah, so Elon's contracts are being threatened, and Tesla's share price has taken another nosedive. It might eventually get to what it's worth, which is about $14 a share if you treat it as a car company.
Elon's threatened to cancel the Dragon capsules, which is the only way the Americans have got to get folk to the space station at the moment. And Trump, in turn, has said he'll maybe scrap the subsidies, or maybe even, I think some of these guys have been saying they could just take it under state control. So it's a bit of a bit of fire. There's so many big egos. All these guys are just such odd, weird characters. Like Scott Bessent, who's like the Treasury Secretary. He's super rich guy, obviously. They're all rich. He's got like $500 million. And I think he actually worked for Soros for a while. And he's gay, openly gay guy. He lives in a big, massive pink house and get like a couple of kids through surrogacy and stuff like that. So you got him, and then you've got all these other guys who are like massive homophobes. And like, you wonder, it's such an odd coalition of folk. You think there's sort of, there is a MAGA thing that is like, you could write it down on a bit of paper, this is what they believe, but it really isn't. It's just like whatever that day they feel like going at. It's just like general racism and money. Yeah, that's it.
We're sort of like a kind of, this has been happening for a while now, where there've been this whole like sort of like big tent thing. I remember it was like 3 or 4 years ago, Dave Rubin, fucking like puppet in a suit, and Ben Shapiro were having a conversation because they were both working for the Daily Wire, and they were saying, they were basically going on about how they can be so civil and the left are just like screaming And Dave Rubin was saying, because he's gay, he's married and he's got kids, and he's saying, you know, like, I know like your religion, like you don't believe in that, you know, like basically you're a fucking massive homophobe, like to Ben Shapiro. He's like, but then yeah, you and I can sit here and have a perfectly civil conversation. Like I would say we're friends. And Ben Shapiro was like, yeah, but like if you invited me to your wedding, I wouldn't come because like I'm totally. And Dave Rubin was just like, yeah, It's like, you fucking spineless piece of shit. He's sitting there telling you that your husband and your kids are an abomination that shouldn't exist, and you're going, yeah, I know, but isn't it great that we're not screaming at each other and none of us have blue hair? It's just like, imagine that was you. Imagine being that much of a little fucking worm.
No, I can't. It's not possible. I'm not capable of imagining.
Have you seen some of the schizo posting that like the right wing have been doing to try to cope with the fallout of Musk and Trump?
Mummy and Daddy are fighting.
Oh no, it's 5D chess now, I'm afraid. So what's actually happened, right?
Fucking Vaughn, this whole, I'm sorry, just gonna say, this whole 4D, 5D, fucking 7-dimensional chess thing. They're not even playing checkers, they're fucking playing tiddlywinks and they're sticking them up their noses.
Please connect 4.
Stephen King thinks it's a work. He used basically that exact terminology. I was like, oh, they're learning, they're getting it now. Yeah, they're suggesting it's all a big wrestling angle, and actually there is no beef.
So this is what is so fucking stupid. But no, actually,
Will this all end with them kissing?
Yeah, it's got to be
possibly.
the main event. They're all friends at the end.
So what's actually happening? You've all been taken in, I'm afraid. You're all a bunch of rubes. You're marks. So the actual strategy is they pretend to fall out. They're actually sitting next to each other in the White House, like side by side, tweeting and truthing, and like giggling and kicking their feet and like. So no, I mean
baseball
this
caps on, like
this
kids.
is not me editorialising. This is genuinely the opinions held by their supporters. They think that this is a coordinated strategy to force the release of the Epstein files.
Which they could just release.
Yes. So they're like, like only Elon could get the Democrats to cry out and demand the release of the Epstein files. Finally, is going to happen. Like they're geniuses. This is what they've and it's like, So when the Epstein files aren't released because Trump won't release them because he is in them.
Yeah. Trump, man photographed with Epstein more than almost anybody else.
There was a lot of Democrats though. They were saying release the files and all that, and then look at all these pictures with Trump and Epstein. And I was just like, you can just type in Bill Clinton, Jeffrey Epstein. Like, this is both of you are going to get. This is why they haven't been released, because it's going to be a fucking tidal wave when this thing eventually does somehow come out, which I don't think it ever will. I think those are probably burned at this point. That'll have been dealt with by the FBI and CIA, because the implications of it will be global. It will be
The other
huge.
thing is, I mean, Epstein was almost certainly some sort of asset for Mossad. And, yeah, you know how, it's just, bless him, my husband always going, I don't fucking understand, why does everybody let Israel get away with all this stuff? And I have to, right, how many times do we have to explain this?
And you know where all the bodies
Literally,
are burned?
they have been doing everybody's dirty, fucking, horrible shit for fucking years, and they've got shit on absolutely everybody, and everybody is fucking shiting themselves about standing up to them, lest whatever their little fucking peccadillo is released to the fucking press.
So the question, why are you like this? That's why.
Yeah!
That is why. It's why they're all insane people, because they have to now end up in these ridiculous political positions, because they're all unwilling assets in a political game that's way beyond their control.
I don't know
Because
whether
the end of the day, they're just kind of weird perverts. That's
Fucking
all it is.
kids or livestock. I mean, Lindsay Graham, every time Lindsay Graham says anything, don't you just think, I wonder whether it's kids or livestock? I mean, it's got to be either kids or livestock, hasn't it? Those photos, kids or livestock.
All those years ago when Gary was tweeting, going like, calling
People dog
calling
shaggers.
Tories dog shaggers, he was actually way, way closer than he could have ever known at the time. So yeah, that's why they are the way they are. But then what happens next? So they've had this big falling out. Will Elon start another party? Is he going to try and sabotage the whole?
He's going to be found in a hotel room.
Welcome back to Elon Musk's Suicide Watch.
Well, that's our next prediction after them falling out is the
Dies.
autoerotic asphyxiations himself.
I think that was it. That was
I don't
specifically
think
it.
I don't think that's very plausible because I don't think he is actually capable of any autoeroticism anymore, apparently. Some sort of attempt to improve things down there went horribly wrong, which is why he's like this.
Oh dear.
I don't think the cat.
It's like a magic eye puzzle suddenly.
Okay.
So yeah, I think he will end up out a window or something. I don't think he will do it deliberately. I think it's possible he will just OD and do
I
something.
think she'll be found slumped in a cooling bath.
I think his ketamine use has got to the point where even respectable news outlets are reporting that there have been grave concerns about his
Professional junkie, you're right.
misuse of ketamine beyond the bounds of what it was prescribed for. And you just have to look at his fucking gumming all the time. Like, he is high as a fucking kite.
It's George Osborne on the front bench level of out of it.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
fucking his.
Sid Vicious. I'm so fucking out of this. Jesus
They
Christ.
say he can't control his bladder now. It's that bad.
he's got to wear a pee bag
Maybe.
over his strange, deformed cock. Saying.
I think he was trying to get some sort of plastic surgery hydraulic thing inserted in there so that he could keep a stiffy, and it went horribly wrong, and now he can't get an erection at all, I believe.
Is that why all the rockets are there? It's a sort of,
Oh,
kind of
the foul.
yeah.
I think the rockets predate this.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
It's gonna get us to Mars in 10 years though. Remember that lane from 10 years ago?
Yeah. Yes, missions to Mars like nuclear fusion are always merely 10 years away, aren't they?
So he'll die, I think, is the prediction. Does that now mean that when he does die of an obvious drug overdose, the Elon conspiracy theory type
Oh, God, yeah, that'll
will
be
say
great.
that Trump kills him? And then that gets in the Epstein thing, and it all becomes more of a mess. And nothing gets done, nothing helps, or nothing changes. It's just all bad.
I don't think they'll think that Trump killed him because those type of people still think that Trump is God's chosen.
Pedophile, God's chosen pedophile.
No, but everybody else will think that,
Yeah.
including me, whether I believe it or not. I'll certainly tell people it. People are saying. What people? Well, me.
It's always like televangelist type pastors that are just really happy because they're making tons of money off all this, and they actually think that's part of God's plan. They're saying that because God made Trump the president, their bank accounts are benefiting, which is evidence of God. So
God wants you to send a certain amount of money to a post office box.
yeah, it's mental. By
God
the
is telling me.
do you reckon Trump might die within the first 4 years of his run, or is it at the end of year one to a certain
Must
extent?
be. So yeah, we're not. We're really not. It's only been 5 months.
It feels like he never left. It does feel like the Biden thing just never happened.
It's like real imagination. Well, that's probably because Biden was a robot clone.
Exactly, of course. Or played by Jim Carrey is another theory that I heard once.
Jerry, just think. Let's pause and pull that apart for a moment. If we had managed to achieve robot clones to replace a president, do we not think that maybe they'd have performed a little better?
As a beta version.
Oh, right. Okay.
You should just get a Furby in.
Yeah. Yeah, but that'd be a good shout.
Yeah.
Is that not a thing in one of the very bad fucking Star Trek Picard season 1 or 2? They were both terrible. Where Picard is cloned into like a something, and it's like rather than having him at like 30 years old, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna make you 90 years old, Patrick Stewart." Like, it's a very interesting take. But yeah, you'd think the same thing with Biden. Like, let's make sure this one comes complete with bowel cancer or whatever. So yeah.
They reckon that he just retweeted that because they had a picture on it he liked.
It's quite extraordinary. I don't think it is for all Americans. I still have some hope that it's a bit like what's going on in the UK, where the voter turnout just keeps getting lower and lower because nobody wants to actually play this silly game anymore.
Also because they're making real strides to disenfranchise as many voters as possible. So the people who want to vote can't, and the people who can vote don't see the fucking point.
I think they'll have their Starmer moment over there where everyone's just like, right, we've had enough of this now. We want some like boring looking guy. We don't care what his policies are. You just like need some like accountant kind of guy that'll just come in and we can not think about him too much.
I never seen
I think
this.
people want something to believe in. Like there's the New York mayoral race that's going on just now. There's one of the candidates that is just fucking burning Andrew Cuomo constantly, and it's great. And people are into it. People are like fired up about it and like motivated by it because finally this guy's talking like a fucking person.
Yeah.
And he has the evidence to back it up when like he's doing really, really well. I think people just want that. They just want something.
Isn't like Cuomo still in the lead? Like, can literally just go around sexually assaulting people and just run again for the mayor of New York. It's crazy.
It's amazing, even if you just took like an image of like late stage George W. Bush administration or the beginning of Obama, and then showed them a picture of Trump and Elon in the White House, and just asked someone like a time machine scenario, going like, "What do you think happened? Like, what happened between these two pictures?"
Maybe we all need to be looking to Canada, where they appear to have gotten the hang of electing charismatic, intelligent, and highly pumpable people.
Yeah.
Mark Carney.
Hey, listen, I'd put Mark Carney.
Okay. When he was head of the Bank of England.
Yeah, he'll have to lose the Mary chain. That's good enough for me.
Oh, what's he using? Oh, so yeah.
I've made worse decisions.
But yeah, I think broadly though, the Canadians have always been that. They're just like the kind of not broken version of America. I wonder if that's what's going to happen eventually when there is the big war, that Canadians and Mexicans will just align to kind of just squeeze them, just squish them and sort them all out, and that'll be the end of it while we're dealing with Russia.
Make Texas Mexico again.
Yeah.
I know that, like, obviously from my like day to day, I deal with a lot of Americans, and I've seen them over the last 3.5, 4 years go from like it's work. So we don't talk about politics all that often, but we'll talk about things that are happening in the news. And over the last few months, I'll tell them, I'll be like, "Oh, did you see the other?" And they're like, "No," because they've all just completely fucking disengaged.
Wow.
You can't even look at it anymore.
I'm like, I'm telling you news about things that are happening in your country.
Told you that when I was maybe a month ago now, whatever, and Pete and I were having a few pints down in Partick, and they're outside. I think it was the Dolphin, and this American couple. They were Democrats, and they got talking to us, and completely unprompted, no one had brought up politics, didn't say a word, and he just went, "We're so sorry." Yeah. It was really sincere, and I'm like, look, it wasn't your fault, it wasn't this, but they were just, I think they'd had a couple of bit too much to drink at that point or whatever, but they just were like we're really, really embarrassed about this, like, we're really, really sorry. But no, it's fine, don't worry about it, it's okay.
There's a guy, he's on YouTube called Brittle Star, a Canadian guy, and he has this lovely little thing about Americans. Why don't you just come and be Canadian? Wouldn't it be nice to be able to have your own flag on your backpack when you're abroad?
I I think that it would be quite good if they just all left and just became Mexicans again. I think
It's
that
just like often not available to some of the weirdest days.
yeah, it's a shame for the Mexicans. They seem to have kind of got the not good end of the spectrum.
I keep thinking about their president, Scheinbaum, because I just think, what fucking high tensile metal must her spine be made out of? It's very Catholic, very kind of macho, pretty chauvinistic
Machismo.
fucking country. And a fucking female Jewish scientist is president and is kicking ass. Fucking go.
The world would be a much better place if we had more of that.
Yeah. Yeah. And they fucking love her because she's strong.
Because she's got machismo.
Yes.
And isn't anciently old and likely to down a toilet within the next few weeks.
So she's quite hot.
Yeah.
So I think that
To be fair, being anciently old and likely to die in a toilet is one of Trump's only positive qualities.
There's not a day that goes by that I mean, I don't believe in any gods or anything like that, but I do just think maybe if, like, the power of a million minds wishing it, Elvis-themed toilet death, the more ignominious, the better.
do you reckon if he died in the toilet in the White House, that the bathroom that happens in becomes some kind of like tourist
Shrine.
Aye, like what would you do with it? Would you clear up the mess? Well, you know that this is the toilet.
You've needs
The Trump
to
toilet.
the Trump, yeah.
big better like Madame Tussauds. On the toilet.
Yeah, like a bad animatronic.
With the blue suit trousers around his ankles and a red tie over one shoulder.
This is how it happened. This is how the president died.
iPhone in hand.
Yeah.
I have been enjoying all of the posting that people are doing, like just like TikToks and tweets, things that of just people going, someone's got to do it. Well, that's all this is, just like someone's got to do it, and everybody knows what they're talking about. It's like, right, somebody has to do it.